My father proposed to his girlfriend at my wedding, so I gave him a reception he'll never forget. My father has always hijacked every family achievement as his own. What started as him giving toasts at other people's birthdays became him bringing his guitar to funerals. By the time I got into high school, he was faking heart attacks at other people's weddings just to redirect the attention back to himself. And then he started targeting his own children. When I got into college, he spent my entire acceptance dinner telling everyone how he guided every decision and practically wrote the essays himself. I had to leave the restaurant when everyone started questioning if I really deserved to get in. At my graduation party, he wore his military uniform, even though he got discharged after basic training, and monopolized every conversation with his war stories. When I landed my first job, he announced at dinner that I only got hired because he made some calls. My boss heard about it through mutual connections, and I had to desperately explain that my father was joking. Things got worse at my brother's engagement party when Dad faked a heart attack. The paramedics rushed him out while my brother's fiance's family watched in horror. He texted me from the ambulance that he was fine and just wanted to test if anyone really cared. Then, at Mom's birthday dinner, he stood up during dessert and began talking about his struggles as a single dad, even though Mom had primary custody. He actually laughed when Mom started crying because he'd called her a deadbeat. That's why we didn't invite him to my wedding. The whole family agreed after years of him making everything about himself. We hired security and gave them his photo and everything, but I should have known he'd find a way. He snuck in during the reception with his girlfriend, claiming traffic made them miss the ceremony, and completely ignoring the fact that he was never invited. He immediately started working the room, telling guests he'd paid for everything even though he hadn't given us a cent. My brother was in the middle of his best man speech when Dad stood up and grabbed the microphone right out of his hands. Before we celebrate the couple, I have my own announcement. To my horror, he dropped to one knee in front of his girlfriend and pulled out a ring. The room went completely silent. His girlfriend screamed yes, and he demanded the photographer capture the moment while my new wife grabbed my hand so tight I thought she'd break my fingers. Watching him crash my wedding just to steal the spotlight with his proposal was way too far even for me. So I decided if he wanted to be remembered so bad, then he'd be remembered, only in the worst way possible. I noticed the venue's infinity pool through the patio doors and put on my biggest fake smile. His phone and wallet were always in his jacket pocket, and I knew he couldn't swim well. I rushed over with fake enthusiasm. "Oh my God, Dad, this is incredible." I hugged his girlfriend and gushed about her ring. "We need photos of this moment. The lighting by the pool is perfect." He preened at the attention and followed me outside with her and half the wedding guests trailing behind with their phones out. I positioned them with their backs to the pool edge. Then I moved in close, like I was adjusting their position, and said, "Step back just a little more to get the fountain in the background." As I pretended to help position them, I tripped and pushed forward with both hands on Dad's chest. He windmilled backwards and pulled his girlfriend with him into the pool with a massive splash. They hit the water hard. Dad came up sputtering and gasping while his toupee floated away like a dead animal. His face went from shock to pure rage as he realized what happened. "You little maniac! You did that on purpose!" He screamed and rushed straight at me after getting out of the pool. "This is why I picked your wedding, because you don't deserve a celebration anyway. You've always been a disappointment. At least now everyone knows." The words hit me like a physical blow, and my wife gasped loudly behind me. Guests who'd been laughing seconds before went dead silent. Even my brother dropped his phone. His girlfriend stood frozen in the shallow end, with her mouth hanging open, as she watched the man who'd just proposed reveal exactly who he was. "Wait, what do you mean you planned this? I thought we had the groom's permission," she whispered, but he didn't even look at her. He was too busy screaming about how I'd never amounted to anything and how this whole wedding was a joke. Security rushed over and saw a soaking wet man screaming at the groom. As they grabbed his arms to drag him out, he was still ranting. "I made you. This should have been my day. You're nothing without me." His girlfriend didn't follow him and instead apologized to me for letting my dad ruin my wedding day. She wished us a happy marriage and then sent a breakup text to my dad while also throwing the ring he gave her right into the pool. And my dad? Well, now that his true colors were out in the open, the entire family cut him off and ignored his rants about it all being my fault.